It is 9:13 this Friday morning. We are now more than 16 months into Russia's military invasion of Ukraine. And for months, we've been hearing about preparations for a major Ukrainian counteroffensive, and now it looks like it could be underway. But the fighting continues, and life must go on in the war-torn country. We want to bring in UNC Chapel Hill political science professor and Eastern European scholar Milada Vachdova joining us live from London this morning. Milada, it is good to have you here with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
You spent about a week in Ukraine on this overseas trip. What was that like? What did you see?
No, and it was amazing to come into the country. I was first in Lviv and then went on to the capital, Kyiv. And during the day, these are incredibly beautiful, bustling European cities. The buses and the trams and the metros are running, the restaurants are full, people are going about their day. And in fact, that's almost a kind of civil resistance on their part, saying to Russia, you're not going to interfere in our education, in the education of our children. We're going to continue to run our businesses, go to the theater, see music. And it was really inspiring to see people sort of showing the incredible efficiency and ambition that they have for their country on a day-to-day basis.
And that life does go on, but then you're suddenly reminded with sirens going off that this war is still going on.
That's right. And the air raid sirens sometimes come during the day, but during the week that I was in Kyiv, Russia sent missiles and drones to attack the city every single night. And in fact, in the whole month of May, there were just a couple of nights where there were no missile or drone strikes. And so what happens is that every night you know it's coming. So even if you go to sleep, you have that sense it's coming. And then the air raid sirens go off, and it can be 1, 2, 3 hours. What was most striking was some of the nights I could hear Ukrainian air defense shooting down the drones and missiles directly above the apartment building where I was staying. And the drones go very slow, and they make this kind of boo 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 sound. So you literally hear them coming, and then you hear them being, shot down.
It's such an eerie feeling, I would imagine. You had the chance to give a lecture to students there studying. What's your take? What did you learn from them?
I was we the lecture was about European integration, and Ukraine's great ambition is to join both NATO and the European Union. And these students were telling me all the different ways that Ukraine is kind of ready to join the EU, a very modern capitalist economy with a lot of innovation, a little bit like our Research Triangle Park or Charlotte, where we have so much innovation in the business community. This was the Kyiv School of Economics, and they were really keen to tell me all the different ways that they're innovating, even during the war.
And how you said that they are inspiring you, or they are inspiring in their resiliency, and that you were meeting with the future of the country. How hopeful are they that there will be some kind of resolution, hopefully sooner rather than later, in terms of this war?
Well, inside Ukraine, there's incredible trust and faith in the Ukrainian military. It's the most trusted institution in the country. It's, 90%. And so right now, everyone talks about after victory. After victory, this is what we're going to do. Because now, the whole energy of the country is towards winning this war. But what's fascinating too is that even as the war goes on, there's so much care being taken of the cities, of the infrastructure. A missile hits and destroys the road. Within a day, they have fixed that road. I wish they could do that for some of our potholes. So the state capacity on the local and regional level, and everyone's pulling together when you're attacked. It's that's what people do. They pull together.
And of course, going on right now, the missile strikes with the dam and the flooding concerns there, it just seems day after day there's another headline that the Ukrainian people are trying to overcome.
Yeah, and what was striking is these missiles and drones being hurled at Kiev every night. That means that everyone is sleep deprived, right? It's no one's sleeping through the night, but they have no military purpose. They're not these things aren't aimed at military targets. The goal is to sort of terrify and wear down the civilian population. Well, that's not working. And the Russia exploding this dam, I think they didn't even understand this themselves, the scale of environmental destruction that they were going to unleash. And so today we have thousands of Ukrainian families who've lost everything. They've
Mhm.
saved their cats, their dogs, their pets, and hopefully their photo albums and had to run for their lives.
How will your trip help you in the classroom as you welcome in more students over the summer and the start of the fall semester?
I'm actually hoping to set up some opportunities for my students in Chapel Hill to speak directly over Zoom with students in Kyiv to talk about not just the war, but the future of European politics and their plans, which are very similar internships, going to graduate school. And also just a real appreciation that I have for like the contrast between everyone's lives having to go on, a city where, it's just perfectly clean, where the trains run exactly on time, and yet at the same time, a country that's facing such human and environmental devastation. Um, it was hard for me to kind of make sense of the two. And a lot of Ukrainians tell me that, well, this is how they survive, by having taking care to preserve as much
Mhm.
of their daily life as they can.
Milada Vachdova, thank you for sharing your firsthand experience of what you saw and learned in Ukraine for your trip. Safe travels back to the States.
Thank you so much.
Mhm. It is 9:20, time to check in with Ted.